Hi, Serene here for SereneSyn.com. I wanted to do a reading for you this evening. I had a video up of this story, but I thought it would be better if I read you the story and shared you some of my right-handed stories, and this one of my left-handed stories. And this one's called Natural High. Endorphin highs are like no other. Sending your bottom or submissive into subspace, I believe, is the real art of domination. And when you can get that right mix of sadistic pain and pleasure, the results are delicious. When the two sensations create the chemical reaction of hybrid intensity that short-circuits normal brain and body function, the body begins to soar. Let me tell you about my Saturday night, and you can decide how close I came to soaring. I always enjoy the company of a 3B, black, buff, and beautiful. I've waited for this particular 3B for some time and have looked forward to what his youth and vigor could sustain. This night he would surprise me. I think you know by now that I love a good sensual, sadistic play, and love it even more when I can dance with a sensual masochist. I have the good fortune of playing with a couple of these darlings on a regular basis, and it's good to be me. Back to my 3B for the evening. I started with a body inspection. I always look for scratches, bruises, moles, discolorations, etc. Often single people do not have someone to do these close inspections and bring attention to the areas that might become medical issues. It's part of safe, sane, and consensual and caring play. My 3B was ready to play. Flaccid but beautiful. I kept him in a room all to myself, as I had no interest in sharing him or being distracted by other players or enthusiastic audience members. 3Bs are always a feast to the eyes, and this man was perfectly built with six-pack abs and thunder thighs. Ooh, yowza. After a sufficient warm-up of spanking and some impact thumps, I put on my vampire gloves and began to press into his flesh. He moaned as my hands moved about his body. Vampire gloves are embedded with sharp studs that are not folded down, but instead come through the inside portion of the glove, so that by using your palm and the undersides of your fingers on any surface, if used lightly, feels like a sharp knife. Press harder, and the glove feels like a vice grip of tightly blunted thorns trying to break through your skin. Standing him on a platform, I stood behind him and instructed him to grip the bars in front of him to brace his body. With one side of the smooth glove, I stroked his penis that had already started to rise from my earlier attention. I pressed my thumb down into his cock with my right glove, and then lifting his cock, I moved down to his ballsack. He made sounds of pure honey to my ears, and each prick of the glove had him humming and going deeper into himself. His eyes rolled back into his head, and as he threw his head onto my shoulder, I said, "Yes, baby. You sound so delicious. Give me more." I squeezed his sack with increasing pressure, and his cock continued to bounce strongly, surging full of blood. I returned to his cock and got a firm grip on his thick 8 inches of uncut dark meat. His member jolted in my hand, becoming stronger and firmer. I strengthened my grip and readjusted my fingers so I could cover as much of his cock as my hands could grasp. I stroked him toward the first glistening of pre-cum, and he moaned so beautifully. His eyes fluttered, and his head was back, his mouth open, and that rock-hard penis in my hand while I was gripping with all my might made me wonder if he would faint. I centered my stance in my Doc Martens. His body dropped into my arms, and I held him up with my left arm, supporting his body against mine. I coaxed him. Yes, baby, you feel so good in my hand. While I stroke his cock, never loosening my grip. His rod throbbing in my hands, mixing the sweet pain with the arousal of his body, calling out for more. We ached together, yearning for release. We danced his dance for over 2 hours. Me letting him breathe deeply, moving all the endorphins through his body. Then, when my grip on his balls or cock was causing his breathing to stop, I relaxed, just enough to see the bobble of his penis ache for more. He was a wonder to behold, this combination of intense pain and the joy of a hard erection. His sounds were guttural, and the intensity made my own primal nature rise. I once again returned to his balls, only this time to twist and squeeze them, with both hands now taking their place, one on the cock and the other on the balls. It was time for the crescendo. And what's in it for me, you ask? Giving intense pleasure, of course. Bringing someone into that subspace without drugs is a powerful experience. I have enjoyed both sides, and breathing the air of submission is like drinking in the endorphins that are always being shared. Power exchange. It's my natural high. Thanks. SereneSend.com. All my heroes for hoes available at Amazon. Bye.